Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Namaste and welcome. I am Bob Kolazarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today, I am thrilled to introduce you to a very special guest and my dear friend, Jay Harris. Our paths crossed in a really most unexpected way. I was hanging out at the pool. Jay's walking by, sensed that I was a really spiritual person, and this intuitive connection really sparked a deep, long conversation between us. And from that moment, we became instant friends. Jay's insight, intuition, and the way he navigates life are nothing short of amazing to me. His natural spirituality and ability to harness his inner wisdom truly got my attention, and I knew I had to invite him on the show to talk to him, share his story. So without further ado, please welcome my friend, Jay Harris.
How you guys doing?
Hey, Jay, we finally got here. You know, we were first scheduled on July 5th, right? And then the station took a day off after 4th of July, and then we rescheduled. And Mercury retrograde, it's a thing. It mix up communication. So anyway, here we are, number 3. So
We made it.
yeah. So, you know, like I was saying in the introduction, that I'll never forget that day.
Yeah.
Sitting at the pool, you know, and you're just walking by, you know, and you're like, hey, you're the man. I'm like, hey, how can I be the man if you're the man? But you saw something.
Yeah, like Bob. I was there reading. I'm at my brother's, and I'm there reading. Being with my brother is a place of just home base, and it don't matter where we are, as long as we together, we're good. But I'm there. He's in the pool. I'm out the pool. I'm not going to swim, but I'm out the pool. I'm reading, but you do that occasional glance up and you scan the whole scenery. We all do it. And I'm just navigating. If I gotta get up, I'm getting up. If I don't have to get up, I'm not getting up. But every time I cross your path, I'm like, why is he doing the same thing I'm doing right now? Like he's not even in his phone. He's not. He don't have a book, but he's just sitting and just almost in peace. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, you the man. Like I don't, what I mean? That's the part is, we never even talked about it. Like you just laying it out that way was like, dang, it is exactly that way. It's definitely something spiritual. When energy is in the air, you don't know, but you can't run from it, right? So I didn't want to run. I poked at it, and here we are.
Well, it was amazing because that particular day I was really in the zone, and I was telling you before. And when I say in the zone, I was really like connected into my own divinity. You know, I was just fully present. I was just aware. I was just absorbing and just taking everything in, just being aware and just catching it all. And I told you that day somebody was buying some furniture off me, an Indian guy from India, right? And
Yeah,
he just looked at me. He looked at me. He's like, "We both love Jesus, don't we?" You know, and I'm like, like busted. Yeah, guilty as charged. But it was that kind of day, and you just picked up
right.
on that, and I picked up on you. So,
Yeah.
um, how do you do that? I mean, has that always been like intuitive for you? Because that's like a gift, really. People have to work hard to tap into that kind of intuition. You know.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, I'll just say the way that I do it, right? things doesn't really, you know, things doesn't really happen the way it always needed to go. You know what I mean? So when things are hitting, even at a precipice time, or even when I'm at a happy moment, you still got to stay as grounded as possible. Um, and early on, I mean, 12 years old, I can just, once I moved with my grandmother, she, taught me how to pray, taught me how to connect with, the highest power, which is God. And, you know, once I've known how to actually tap into that space where you were just alone, you know what I mean? So, once I hopped into that space early, I kind of was able to tap into it as I actually play sports. Like we talked about, I played sports. Um, all sports I can possibly play when I was younger, but um, those sports sceneries and in-game sports, they just make you dig deep into you and then yourself. So I've kind of found it at the same time. Found like the inner self through sports, but firstly finding it through like being able to connect spiritually, feeling it. I remember, like I told you, I knew, God was real once I prayed every night to just be in my right grade, which was sixth. Well, I was in the sixth grade, but I wanted to be in the eighth because I did sixth grade. Like, shout out to all my Philadelphia people. Did sixth grade at Turner, and then I did sixth grade at Shaw. So I didn't even want to do seventh grade. Like I knew that the circumstances was really not, my fault. But at the end of the day, me doing that transition around sixth grade, I had to do it twice. So once I was there with my grandmother, around that time, she taught me how to connect. And at that point, it was more so like I'm seeing that I have to have this in sports, and I just took it all the way to here. And you got to be able to be alone, really like kind of hone in and really produce whatever it is. So whatever you were trying to do that day, you were doing it to your thing. So I'm over here doing my thing to the fullest extent because I don't have. Sometimes we don't have to be nowhere. We don't even have to do anything. So what are you going to do? You still have to be you, and it's still being. So you were doing it at 100%. I was doing it at 100%. So it's no way that we were going to pass by in some way. Once we locked it in, it was like an explosion. Now we talking all night.
No, no, that was cool. But you have a couple of points that I want to like talk about. Number one is how, and maybe you can share this and help people out because the inner work is really important, right? Because the only way you're tapping in to your true self and your spiritual self is inwards. It's in the
Yeah,
heart. So, what did your grandma? How did she teach you to do it? I mean,
right.
there's praying, but there's going deeper into it. Is that something that you can share?
Yeah, for sure. Have I ever tongued this before? Probably not, but you know what I mean.
That's
This is
what I'm here for, man. That's why I'm here.
that's why I love you, Bob. But uh, so basically, more or less, she made me really realize everything that I was doing, only because I truly loved her so much. So, and I was willing to do a lot for her. I just wanted her to, when you look my way, you can't say that I'm messing you up, Grandma. I'm always helping, right? So I believe that you have to love something as much, like as that much, just to kind of change. So it could be a dream, it could be anything, but not to go off course. Me wanting to actually be up under my grandmother. See, and I don't even know if this still exists in the system today, but I had to sleep with my grandmother because I had three older sisters, right? So I'm watching my grandmom from the top of the day to the bottom, right? And the way she's praying, I want to know about it. The way how she's actually making me identify everything that I'm doing. Jay, don't do it like that. Do it this way. She taught me how to shuffle cards. So just think about someone trying to teach you something real fine like that. You got to have patience. So that's where it was. Once she taught me how to shuffle cards, and I'm talking 11, 12, you know what I mean? Um, Once I knew that I had to have patience with cards, I said, what else really? Like, and she started to actually tell me how the universe worked. It started to make sense. Like, don't think about God just being one person or a thing. Think of it being more so a universal thing, something that can watch all people. So I'm like, okay, so if he's watching me and I want something, I can ask for it, and yes, and you have to believe that actual entity, that universe is going to supply it, and you'll know when. So now I'm like, my grandmom's blowing my mind with trying to tell me, like, so you mean this works? And I put it to the test with me wanting to be in sixth grade at the time. Because once I got to her, I had to enroll into Shaw Middle School, where I met the most greatest guy in the world, which is Frieden. Shout out to Frieden Orr. And he was my sixth grade teacher. And I had to do that year, but I'm like, I ain't doing seventh grade. So I just wanted to keep praying, 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 praying. Next thing you know, I heard a little voice that say, be persistent in asking the vice principal. And then at one point, I kind of caught him at a time where he's on the phone and I'm asking him the same question every day, like, can I go in eighth grade class, go in eighth grade class? And he just kind of like gave me a look like he couldn't even answer me, but I just got out of his way because he was on the phone. Next thing you know, a couple weeks later, I'm in there because I kind of snuck in there, but it was like they knew what I was trying to do with the help of everybody. That the Shaw Middle School family, they knew what I was trying to do. I was always asking, but it worked. I prayed, it happened, it worked. I'm doing this every time now. So now I believe there's a universe. Now I believe there's truly like a God that actually can see everything. If we talk in universe, I instantly known that, okay, the universe is everything. So I'm paying attention more to finer things like shuffling cards or anything that I do. But it kind of transcended into sports. So it was almost like she gave it to me right away. Once I've known about that, I kind of took off in sports, to be honest. You know what I mean? Once and I have coaches to attest, and all of my coaches that knew me when I was 12 years old, like they 11 years old, they kind of knew that's when I kind of got it. So more so just to answer your question, Bob, like just love something so much that you willing to change for it. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. Like, and I love my grandma that much. So if she was to drop anything, I was going to pick it up. Some people don't even, you know, love
Well,
things that much. Go.
your grandmother sounds like she was very wise and very spiritual for sure. I mean, I think it was in the Bible, Mark 11:24, Jesus says, when you pray, pray as if you have already received it and it'll be yours.
Yep.
So it's, I
Right.
mean, it does work. And so your mindset must be pretty strong then. You don't probably have much of a negative mindset. No?
Yeah, no. Everything is definitely for a reason. Um, and that actual saying is so cliche, right? People just always say, yeah, everything happens for a reason, but do you truly believe it? Do you know if something is going on, it's because it involves you. You may have brought it to you. You did this. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it in a way like, oh, like, what you mean? No, yes. It may have not been today. It may have been something you did months ago. Just the way how you move it. You didn't know something. Now you still don't know something after the, it's gonna come up again so you can know and move on. So negative mindset means nothing. It's like, no, you can't have it. Anything pessimistic, that means you're exhausted or something. You know what I
Well, it's
mean?
also
That's
going to affect your ability to manifest things too. If you're all negative, and because that's what you're putting out into the universe. So we got to be careful what we're putting out and staying positive. But it is time to take a short commercial break. I'm Bob Kolazarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Jay and I will be right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with my buddy Jay, talking spirituality. And Jay, he was on his path from a young age. So I just want to continue that conversation, if you don't mind, because I have another question. Because I am all about stillness and awareness, and that's what I practice. I try to be present, because my thought process, like yours, I know what I want in my life, right? I have this vision of all the good things that I want to do.
Yes.
And then I don't stress it, and I just kind of, work towards it and pray for it and keep moving on. But I practice it from a presence, and I really try to cultivate that. Do you have that yourself? Is your mind racing all the time, or are you pretty quiet so you can hear these intuitive voices?
Yes. So, Bob, once we're in this mode, right, you really can hear pins drop, right? So, and those pins only come from the universe because it's so loud. It gets so loud. So yes, the mind races all the time, right? The only way that I settle my mind is to be into exactly what I know I need to do towards that goal or towards this vision that I see for myself, right? If I'm not into it, or even if I glance to watch the football game or something like that, once I'm not looking at the screen, I need to be able to look right down to what I'm supposed to be doing in the next hour or whatever it is. It needs to be already there. If it's not, I can expect something to, just have me modifying something or something like that. Long as I'm going 100%, because I know I'm not perfect. Because some people would say, no, you gotta not watch no TV. You can't look at the internet. Don't do none of these things. But it's like, come on, you want me to be super focused? No, but once you're done those things and you need to be just into your work. You need to be working hard. You need to be going towards that way where you see yourself going. If not, don't cry about it.
That's what I'm getting at. Because when you're doing your work, it's like intentional focus. You're not thinking about it. You're just doing what you're doing and being present with what it is that you're doing, and that's a great state to be in. It's a great state of mind.
Yeah.
So I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot of things going on, right? So how have you, you're manifesting your life? You have a couple businesses that you're doing. I can't keep up with everything you're doing, plus the basketball coaching that you do. So how did all this develop?
Yeah. So this was the plan. This the plan. This was the plan. It is the plan. Always was the plan. Even when I was younger, the only thing that kind of shift from a plan that me and kind of my brother kind of manifested was the fact that I started to dip into insurance. I kind of derailed to make it, make the plan or enhance the plan better for myself. I kind of went into insurance and then went into like contracting and stuff that me and my brother went into. But and shout out to Sharif Hendricks, that's my bro.
Yo,
But
Sharif.
yeah,
I know Sharif.
Bob knows Sharif. Um, but uh, yeah, mind race, yes. How do I keep it all together? It's only because it was the plan all along. So I'm passionately moving every day. Once me and him knew that, we were camp counselors, stuff like that, the kids gravitate to us. We need this fast, simple. Plus my godparents, they did it. Boom, simple. Can we do it now? No, not right now, but we know that that's where we're going. Um, Same thing when I actually heard about just the word financial freedom, right? I'm thinking, oh, just basketball. I was a basketball player for those that don't know me. I played for Tennessee State University. Um, Full ride to Tennessee State for basketball. But up until that point, I always thought about just like all the things that can come with basketball. So once financial freedom started floating around, once I've graduated, I knew that's what I needed. And that's how I got into insurance. And all the other stuff is just, and you know how, well, if anybody's in the insurance game, when you self-teach yourself the actual business and take these tests and, uh, go from independent to captive down to your own agency, well, back to independent, now have your own agency. It's pretty, like, you have to have stillness. Like, if you don't have stillness, can't slow yourself down to do what you need to do, what are you doing? It's almost like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So,
I
and
do know what you mean.
yeah, it almost looked like, it looks like I'm busy, but no, I'm just passionate. You see passion. You know what I mean? These people that been doing this stuff for as long as they've been doing it, they seen it already, Bob. They knew that they were going to do it. Like, so when our mind is racing, okay, that's our least our worries because all I can think about is this and a new thing to do that, and then wait for a pin to drop to say, hey, you have access to this, what you want to do. And we go, what? And then,
Well, no, I hear you. I want to touch upon that because you say your plan changed, but I bet you it was in a moment of stillness where you heard that pin drop and like go down this way. And I experienced that too. I was going to go down roads that was like, you, and then you just like, no, you need to do this, And I get that, for
yeah,
sure.
that's it. That's it. And that's nothing else but passion. I feel like you know what you want. That's your own fire. You created it just like how we gotta create heat or whatever in the wild. You did that. And people gotta just kind of give themselves more value, more patience. And I believe that anybody can start that fire and now they don't even know what got them going. Yes, you started your own fire. You don't need coffee. You don't need none of this stuff. Just go. Like, fine.
And
You're
you
very.
don't meditate, right? You don't meditate at all.
I do. I
Oh, you
do.
do?
Shout out to Cam, man. Shout out to my brother Cam. He's the one that kind of got me to do it. But the thing is, he knows I don't do it as much as he do. But that actual part in spacing your brain, I can do that right here. Like, you know what I mean? Books helps me meditate. Like, I'm in that part. I'm in my pocket. Like, I'm here. I can look over there, look any pocket of my brain, I can see it all. So, it's forms of meditation. So all I think I need to do is just get off my feet, and I think it starts. It happens. That's
Yeah,
how
I
fast.
think. Yeah, I
Go
think
ahead.
mindfulness is a form. It's just like a meditation. You could be like in a meditative state doing the dishes. If you're just there and you're just absorbed
Yeah,
into it, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's to me
Driving.
that's like the most work that I focus on for myself is just continually trying to cultivate that stillness and that presence about me. I don't like to have a lot of thoughts coming in, all the negative stuff. I just push them out like you do. But if you had any advice to somebody, like how do you teach them to just be still? I mean, I know how I would go about it, but
Yeah, it just came to me. It's basically like you be still, basically, and I have to hurry up and say it before I forget it. You be still, basically, when that bomb or that precipice time hit. Now, if you're not ready to accept it or do something about it, it's one of the two. Like it's one of the two. So accepting it is a form of stillness, and doing something about it, it gives you a form of stillness in your mind, right? So, and I only say it gives you stillness in your mind is because you know what you're about to do now. Like you can like, okay, I can't do that today, but I can do it tomorrow. So it's either accept what's happening, that big boom. That's the pen that that me and Bob is talking about, as if I was to speak to someone. Like that big pen. It's metaphorically a small pen, but it sounds so big because you're hit with something like a challenge or it's time to change. You know what I mean? It's time. You see it. It's on you. It's right here in front of you. This is the situation. It's time for change. Now you know exactly what's going on and you can't run from it because if you run from it, it's going to come back. So I would just tell somebody, be ready to accept those pin drops. It's a small drop. Some people can complain about it. Some people can blame somebody else. But when you're hit with like, oh my God, what I'm about to do, or that challenge of uncomfortableness, that's the time. And then they say, what time for what? To either accept it or actually do something about it. That's it. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
it's a choice, right? It's a choice. Keep going the way you're going or change it.
Or
Yeah.
just do
Hey,
something towards it. And then now you have faith, and now all the rest of the stuff comes in where you say, okay, I like how my faith feels when I'm doing something about it. It feels good. Or I like how my faith feels when I accepted it. I know why, I know what's going on. I'm gonna accept it for today. You may only have to accept for an hour, 2 hours, a week, a month. But you have to give yourself that peace to accept it and not just say, okay. No, don't just say okay. Sit still, let it burn, understand it, and then you may be ready to do something about it.
yeah, let me ask you. I mean, great advice. 100% agree with everything you said. But I do want to ask you about this, your spiritual approach to life and how that affects your interpersonal relationships. Um, it's hard to find somebody that's kind of on the same page as you with your spiritual growth. And, you know, you want somebody, and I know that wants to be, you want somebody to be working on themselves as much as you're working on yourself. And
Yeah.
that's not always easy because as guys, it's like women are always working on us. We're the guys with the scaffolding around us, always under construction while they're under museum glass,
Yeah.
all perfect already.
Yeah. So, so your question is, how do I actually do all the stuff that I'm doing and keep a kind of contact, or what do you want? A view on how I view it, or because
Yeah, I mean, do you have struggles with relationships and finding somebody who's kind of on the
yeah,
same page with
I
you?
got
Because you're a
hold
pretty
up.
deep guy.
Yeah. So when I think in that aspect, right, Bob, I just think when we ask to get into some type of relationship or some type of relation, you're asking basically to see yourself. You asking for like a time of revealing yourself basically. Because when I'm into someone or when I'm into someone, it's like I see more of me. Like I see that I'm not ready to move forward or chain it down. I see me not ready to be as like making, like I don't want to give this trust. I don't feel like I should do this, or I'm seeing me. It's me. You know what I mean? So um I
I do
had
know
to
what you mean.
yeah,
Relationships are mirrors.
Yeah.
to us. I agree. Yeah.
So once I'm ready to see me and I'm seeing myself, because it gets kind of like, it don't get kind of, but when we talk about relationship, it's old moving the way that you moved last year, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. It gets like you have to do something to make sure that you're doing what's best for that person, well, really for you, but for that person as well. You don't want to get together and be a lunatic. Like, no, you want to kind of have you in pocket. So when I'm dealing with someone, I see more of me. Now, I have to be ready to work on that. So you know what I do? I read, I'll do this, I'll do that, and now I'm actually getting better with, if I really feel like I trust you, I got to tell you I trust you, or you know, be better with telling someone exactly what it is, if you will. Like, you have to be ready to just speak truthfully and speak honestly. And people don't do that because they don't even know, they don't have that peace in mind into themselves, that stillness. And that's one thing. Like, you have to be kind of still, because it's going to be a mirror every day right up to you, showing you. And as much as you trying to dodge it and trying to act like that's not you, it's going to find you, and you could be wasting somebody's time. You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
And
you're 100% right. I mean, I think you're just hitting it right on the head. But it is time to take another short commercial break. I'm Bob
man,
Kolazarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. You know, it feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with Jay Harris, my friend. Very insightful. I tell you what, it's just like you might need to write a book or something, because I have not been able to disagree or pick apart anything you said, my friend.
yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I'm starting it. I just, that is a part of the plan as well. You know what I mean? I've already started it. Do I have time to finish it? No, but I have, I have, I was ready to curse, Bob, but I got some stuff. I got some stuff. Yeah. So, and also cartoons. I just told one of my students today, like, he said of something from the B movie. I'm like, yeah, I want to rewrite that. I want to do the B movie. I don't know, but
Well, I have no doubt you will, but
Yeah.
let's switch gears just a little bit because I look at you and and you're a young guy. I'm a old guy, and racially different, right? Just try to be sensitive about it, but we can see. I can't
Yeah.
be any whiter. I don't think so. I think I'd be kind of see through if I got any whiter, you know.
Oh man.
You
But
know,
I feel
but there's
like we know each other. But go ahead.
no, exactly. So we see each other on a different level. We see each other as souls and spirits, and we just have that energy connection. So with the way the world is and all this divisiveness and people just like pushing divisiveness and stoking fear and prejudice. So how do we overcome that? I mean, what you have any other experiences where you're just bridging these gaps with people? Because you seem like you could just get along with everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a great question, Bob. I really love the fact that you have this platform. Like I always talk about getting on a platform like this and kind of sharing and digging deep because if you know me that I don't have people around me, a lot of people around me. My camp is very small and I'm able to be my truest self with my camp, right? So one tool that I'm using, you know how you have one tool that you could just use for everything? It's authenticity. So you have to be authentic, right? So even if well, let me back up. Being authentic is something that you have to do because that's the universe language. If you're looking for something, if you are doing something that you bending your back for, that's not an authentic walk. Unbend your back, get upright, and walk that way, no matter how that feels. So be true to what's making you bend and what's making you actually modify off of your true and authentic self and authentic mind. Like be still enough to know what you truly want, right? So when I'm an eighth grade teacher. Well, I teach at I teach and I do a bunch of things. I tell my students like you're gonna come in here and feel safe once you know all the bull crap is off the table. Let's get it all off the table. Like take it off because if it comes on the table, I'm gonna ask, what is this? Right? So if you don't want that spotlight, let's take it off and let's just be real. I know you don't like to read, but I just need you to read this one sentence. Same thing for an adults. You know for a fact you don't like something, or you know for a fact this thing doesn't like you, or it doesn't work well, it doesn't mash. Why are you not being authentic about that knowing, that mind knowing? You're in a knowing mind and you're still going with the opposite thing of what you think is supposed to be done. So that's how I'm. If anybody's talking with me, that's how I feel like I'm bridging this gap. No matter what generation we using, it doesn't matter who we talking to. Big, small, old, not old. How authentic are you? Your authenticity brought me right to you. You're the man. You like you. No, you
How
like
can I
no.
be the man if you're the man?
Go.
That's what
Yeah, you just hitting me with that. It's like I guess is I don't know, Bob. Like once we started talking, it was like thank you. I did not want to just thank you. You can't even put no words behind it. You just got to just be thankful because I'm reaching for it. That's what I want. I want a high level conversation. I want to be able to learn something if I could. I want to be able to bounce something off a wall that I know is sturdy only because he's super authentic. There's nothing else
and
behind it.
that is so true. I talked about this before on the show. I really had to come out and start being my true, authentic self, and just talking about the way that we're talking now, spiritual concepts, healing, and all that stuff. And there's fear in that, right? But there's fear that holds people back from being their true, authentic selves, societal fears, whatever. But doesn't that kind of play into getting back to that stillness, pushing that fear aside, and because the
Yeah.
fear is coming from our lower emotions, right? And it's not really real. but you got to really quiet down and really look at it and see what's real and what's not real. And if we can get people just to stop, start tuning out all the negativity and just start connecting as people with that stillness, um, I think it would just be such a huge thing if we could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I do, and I'll say this, Bob, and this is for the people that kind of know me too. Like, it's like, yeah, I had like, yeah, fear will like come all the way, like it'll smack you in the head, right? And it hurt because you feel like you can't move. You feel like
Right.
you cannot do anything right now, today, right? So yes, I had that fear, which is I don't want to like put myself out there unless I feel like I'm truly ready. But nah, paradigm shift, dude. God said he'll do it when he's ready, when he think you're ready. So when I started actually like believing into that, I'm like, okay. And then now one show missed, we on another show. So happened I got something going on tomorrow. Like he's doing it the way he want to do it. So I'm like falling back, just being ready because when I do veer off and go to NFL or when I do go and try to go hoop at, do some cardio, some working out for me, and I go back to my work, I need to be going back to my work after that. Anytime God is checking on me, he knows I'm doing something towards me. I want him to see it. All right, I'm doing all these people, taking care of this person. All right, Jay, I'm ready for the blessing. You ready? I want to be like, huh? Yes. Yes, I'm ready. You see me working, right? Yes. You need to be working. You need to be doing everything that you need to be doing. So life is I'd rather go through these problems because life is problems and worries. I'd rather go through these ones, the ones I'm passionate about, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, but I'd rather do this. Same with even my interpersonal relationships. I have to just be clear and just know that every conversation that you actually about to have, know that it's only a mirror there. That's where you're going to find your mirror. So be ready to look in it, and because you may not look as good as you think. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I've learned a lot through helping my ex with after we got divorced, and
yeah,
the mirror aspect of it. I was just seeing what was triggering me, and she used to trigger me like no tomorrow. It's like I would just kind of lose my mind
yeah,
sometimes. But
I'm in
then
the same.
you're like, okay, that's how and then you start looking in the mirrors, like, you know what, that really isn't very attractive at all. And I've had many cringe-worthy moments, but you learn and you grow from it. I mean, that's the only way. You got to work through it, but you have to
Yeah,
identify it.
yeah, yeah. These problems and these things that makes us uncomfortable. It's on our mind. Oh my God! Use that opportunity to have a growth mindset, right? And be ready to go through what you feel like you're fearing. Just, dude, like once you get in the knowing mind of knowing that this is not authentic you, and this is not what you truly want to do, and this is not how you truly want to feel, it's like, come on, what you about to do about it? You either going to accept it or do something about it. But if you want to accept it, I just highly encourage anybody to don't accept it too long because that's years off of your life. And if you really love your
Years.
life,
It could be years just cycling through the head like constantly, and you got to get off that roller coaster or merry-go-round or whatever metaphor for going around a circle is. But it is, and everybody's done it. I've done it for years. So it's like living in your own personal hell.
yeah, yeah, Bob. Yes, yes. And you know, I just want to be able to do as much as I can do for everyone. You know what I mean? Now, am I going to be able to save the world? I want to, and I really like want to do it in my own way, and I feel like I am doing it in my own way. But I just want to make sure every person that comes across, they know what authenticity look like, they know what straight genuine looks like, and then I want the kids to be able to understand that, hey, I have never felt that energy before. This is out here. You mean to tell me this type of energy is out here? Like I'm just naturally want to listen to this dude. I naturally want to get into whatever this guy want to do. So I'm just gonna worry about the kiddies and then worry about the adults. a little like on the back end, but I'm putting it all together. I just want to be somebody. If you need me, you got me. You know what I mean? Hey, what you need? I want to be so resourceful that you actually looking at me like, you do what? You can do that too? You do that? All right. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
and it's, yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, but people need to, start, and this is what I learned through my experience. You start getting a hold of your triggers and you start not taking things personal. And I'm a big energy guy. I'm going to feel everybody's energy. So I interact with people basically like you
Yeah,
do on an energetic level because,
yeah,
you might be saying one thing, but I'm picking up a different vibe. And I go with the vibe more than what people are saying. But I do try to come from the heart. I learned to come from the heart, and we got about a minute to go. So, I just want to ask you, do you have any closing advice to share with people who are watching or listening on the radio?
yeah. Like to to my younger generation, whoever, or to my parents and the ones who actually raising younger generations, like start pushing being authentic, holding them accountable if they're just like doing something just to get by. No, what is it? And this is who and what I tell my younger generation. I want you guys to be the ones that's authentic. Everybody's doing something for somebody else. I want you to do everything for you because of you, how you want to do it. Don't be influenced by nothing else. Don't let somebody create your fire. You have to want to do it. And that's actually like going with the passion, what you want to do in your life, what you want out of life, all that stuff to the younger generation. To the older generation, I'm saying the same thing. Be authentic. Like, do not basically turn the cheek and act like you don't see it or act like this is not here. Like, come on. Like, stand up to yourself because there's nobody else you're sitting down who's making you sit down. It's only you. So don't think it's that person. Go through the wall because you're gonna be. It's being authentic. If you're not, it's gonna be a rough road. Get through that. Just like a
Well,
plane ride. My colleagues call me the king of metaphors. Just like a plane ride. You go through that turbulence, get on, it's all crazy. Yes, same. It's smooth out, you get some grace, boom, back to turbulence. Now you're landing. The landing is like all crazy. Yeah, it's like that. But at least you're
yeah,
being
but
authentic.
being authentic and working on yourself, putting yourself first. I didn't put myself first for many, many years, but you can only take care of people to the extent that you're healthy enough to do it. But that is, basically the end of the episode. Got to take another break. But Jay, thanks, man. You've been very inspirational and just throwing
Oh,
out some nuggets.
I hope so.
Throwing out some nuggets, man. I appreciate you, being here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this, view it back, look at it. Bob, you know you got me. I'm with you forever. It's over.
Yeah,
We
I
together.
know. I'm here for you. I'm here for you too, man. Anytime. So we'll keep in touch. But I do have to take a break. I'm Bob
Yep.
Kozarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Got it.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBN Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kolazarek, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. As we wrap up today's episode, I just want to take a moment to thank Jay for being here. We've had a few mishaps along the way, but he's got here. He delivered. He came in definitely delivered. So his natural intuition and untrained, well, trained by his grandmother, but he's so profoundly insightful, and his practices remind us that spirituality doesn't always come from books or formal training, although he does read, but you know what I'm saying? That it's not like I'm going to, our Hatha yoga class and really, really studying. And he's just got that natural ability about him, which is, I think, kind of rare, but maybe it's more prevalent than what I thought. But he listens to that inner voice, and he's guided by it, and he follows his path. So it's just, I'm very inspired by Jay. And today's episode is just a beautiful reminder that wisdom isn't bound by age or cultural background, but it's just something that flows through us all when we open our hearts and our minds. And Jay's ability to connect with those around him, regardless of their differences, just really showcases, to me, the unifying power of spirituality. It's about understanding, compassion, and a willingness to see the divine in each other, and that's what we do, So I hope Jay's journey and talk has inspired you as much as it has inspired me. So whether you're just beginning your spiritual path or well along the way, you might find solace in knowing that the answers lie within you, ready to be discovered. So that's it for me tonight. I was talking in the last couple of weeks that Master Marilag, one of my teachers, she's doing a healing, prosperity healing and manifestation session in a few minutes. So it's the last in the series, and I'm excited to do that because she's amazing. Yeah, that's it. So until next time, try and practice understanding, compassion, and be open and willing to see the divine in each other. You can follow me on my social media, stay in touch at Self-Help Coaching LLC. So that's it for me. I got to go jump on something else. I will see you next week. Thank you always for joining us on this continuing adventure. I'm Bob Kolazarek, and you've been watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Have a great weekend. Namaste, everyone.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarek. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the